Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike, and what a night. We did say for a few weeks that we were going to get there. At times, it didn't look like we were. But as you can see, Bitcoin is at $50,200. It is up almost 5%. In the last 24 hours. It's up almost 20% this year. Ethereum is ripping away as well, as are some of the alts, which we're going to get onto in a minute. So we have a busy day. I'm going to try and dissect it as much as possible. Before I do, a few shout outs to people in chat. I believe Harry is here. Hidden Agendas is back. I think Mags is in chat as well. Remember, wherever you are, say hello. I am trying to ban spam as much as I can, so anybody that spams the chat will be banned. So try and drop any messages in chat. I will try and catch them. Somebody asked me in chat before the show started, what's the next 10x? Now, of course, I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but what I would say is you should be looking around the $100 million to $150 million market cap for a coin that can do a 10x, because that would bring it up to about $1.5 billion market cap. We looked yesterday at another coin that's now gone up to almost a $3 billion market cap. I'm just trying to remember which one it was now. And again, my argument was that I don't see this going a lot higher than where it has gone. So if you do want to do a 10x, look at $100 to $150 million market caps. That should be where you should be casting your eyes. So what we're going to look at today, we have some X files again. We have meta gains. We're going to look at where Bitcoin is in terms of market cap against traditional big companies. We're going to look at the Solana. They've got a second version of their mobile phone coming out. It's just past 100,000 purchases. What does that mean for Solana? ADA supply shock. This one might take you by surprise. We've then got some news about IMX. If you are an OG member, if you are a subscriber, you will know I did 5 picks for February, and my 5th pick, which was my wild card, was IMX, which is a gaming token. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Then we're going to talk about the UK. The UK wanting to give you a test before you can invest in crypto. This is not new for the UK. They've done it before. So we're going to have a excuse me, we're going to have a quick look at that. But before we do, let's have a look at these beautiful charts. We're above 50,000 and we're holding above 50,000. That is the key. We broke it a couple of times. We had a little bit of a fight yesterday. The war was on. We were toing and froing between the bears and the bulls, and I think the bulls have just about won for now. But let's see what happens when the markets open in a few hours' time. We are going to look at the Bitcoin chart. Why not? Why would we not look at the Bitcoin chart when we just hit $50,000? Now, before I get on to the gainers and losers, one thing I forgot. Keep your eye on the market cap. We are almost at 2 trillion. Now, that's a significant number because in the last bull run, I believe we were about 3 trillion in the last bull run. And my prediction for the next bull run is somewhere in the region of 8 to 9 to 10 trillion. So if we do get to 2 trillion, we should be looking at 4xing from there. Now, obviously, there's lots of things which could come into play with that. And we're not going to go into all of those today, but it's another milestone. I remember when we were talking about breaking $1 trillion, not even that long ago, 4 or 5 months ago. The volume, believe it or not, 82 billion volume isn't actually that high. I have seen 100, 120, 140 billion a day volume. Not too high. Bitcoin dominance is ripping up almost 52.5%. Very, very decent. Gainers, Audi is up 16%. Render, Helium, Say, Beam, Gnosis, there's loads, double digit winners today. Sats, Mantle, Lido, Flow, Solana is up almost 10%. Remember, my next target for Solana is about $125, but my resistance point was $112.50, and we've broken that. So $125 for Solana. If we keep the momentum going, woo, pie, all kinds of winners today. Now, are we going to see the 24-hour losers being a list of stable coins? We are indeed. When we are having an incredibly good day, the entire bottom or the entire list of losers over the last 24 hours is normally stable coins. Digital, USDC, Tether, DAI, USDD, they're all down there. And the only thing that is down just a touch is IMX, which is down 1%. But look, so far this year, we are up 37%, 39% for the last 30 days. So Immutable has been on a bit of a tear. I wanted to buy into Immutable at about $2, $1.80, and it did dip down to that level during a power cut where I was, so I didn't manage to get in on Immutable, and had I got in, I'd already be 50% up, so that is a bit of a shame. So that's the markets. Everything is looking good today. Everything is looking super. I am also just going to tell you that if you spam the chat with links, I will ban you. You need to know that. Be Simple, hello, how are you? I am good, thank you, Be Simple. I hope you are well. 2B, I hope you are well. Shoria, you are being banned. Let's who else is in here? Actually, that's not too many. I have banned about 20 people before the stream started. Bislek, hello, hello, hello. I hope you are all doing well. Right, let's get on with the X-Files. Used to be called Word on the Bird until a certain Elon Musk decided in his infinite wisdom to change it from Twitter to X. And by doing so, ruined our Word on the Bird. And then it took us an awfully long time to come up with X-Files. Way too long when it was staring us in the face. So what this is the top assets by market cap. As you can see, gold is sitting at 13.6 trillion. And then you have the list of all the companies you've heard of. You might not have heard of Saudi Aramu, but Apple is up there, Microsoft, Nvidia, Alphabet, Amazon. If we scroll down, Silver, and then Meta, and there we go. Bitcoin, 971 billion. So this, of course, has grown and will be very soon entering these realms up here. If the market goes as expected, and let's, for example, say we get to a $6 trillion market cap, that would make Bitcoin worth $3 trillion. That would put it third behind Microsoft and gold. We are still a long way from getting to the market cap of gold. Gold has had a huge head start in terms of ETFs. So we can only look at gold as our number one target. Now, of course, to get to the price of gold, you'd have to 13x the price of Bitcoin. Therefore, you'd be looking at a $500,000 Bitcoin. I don't think that is going to happen anytime soon, but we will move up slowly. Potentially, we are going to be seeing at least Meta and Silver being overtaken in the next couple of months. Then you've got a cluster there of Nvidia, Alphabet, and Amazon to take. And then I think the next big target is going to be the $2 trillion market cap. But there you go. Just a nice little clue on where Bitcoin could potentially go in the next 5-6 years. Moving on, we have a busy show. We have a message from Mags. I think I have a crypto warehouse dependent problem. Do you think I should go to a psychologist? No, Mags, what I think you should do is smash the like button. Because smashing the like button, that cures all ills when watching Crypto Warehouse. Okay, now, this is fairly long. Now, this is Pamper. Pamper I follow on X. He is a great chap. somebody well worth following. He's put up this great post about open interest. Now, I'm not going to go into all of this. I'm not going to read all of this out. I'm going to read out the headlines. Open interest is the total number of outstanding derivative contracts. Why does that matter? The liquidity it brings to the markets. By having more liquidity, larger and larger people can buy and sell without it affecting the price. If somebody dumps $100 million or $10 million worth of Bitcoin and you only have 200 or 300 million worth of positions, it's going to move the market. If you have billions of open interest and you only drop the 10 or 20 or 30 million, it's not going to make much difference to the price. Number one, market sentiment for me is the most important one. The more people that are in the open interest or have open interest, the better for the market. It shows that they have belief and faith that they are not going to lose. They are more happy to open up the positions. They see it as a less risky move. And finally, price movement. When the price goes up, more open interest. The end of the third quarter last year until today, we are now at the highest point for open interest, which is in excess of $10 billion. So a big thank you to Pamper for putting that up. Nice and concise, explains in plain English where we are. This is not quite FOMO, but this is bringing people in, institutional investors. It's now becoming part of people's 401ks. It's being advertised in subways. It's been advertised everywhere. Bitcoin and crypto, if you ever wonder, they are going to make it. Never doubt that. You can quite happily doubt the price over a period of 2 or 3 weeks, but don't doubt it over the long term. Good morning, Michael David. I hope you are well. Welcome to the show. Another one of these, I don't think it's going to happen, is Franklin Templeton has filed for a spot Ethereum ETF. Now, there are probably going to be the same 9 or close to the same 9 that have the Bitcoin ETFs applying for the Ethereum ETFs. And I will say, and put it on record, I have done many times, I don't think it's going to happen this year. I don't think it's going to happen in May. Now, the reason it will happen in May is because BlackRock gets what it wants. And as I said on yesterday's show, Bitcoin is 50% of crypto, 52.5% of crypto. BlackRock doesn't want 52% of the pie. BlackRock wants all the pie. BlackRock wants all the pie when it comes to farming, when it comes to housing, when it comes to finance, when it comes to owning companies. They want all the pie. So why would they settle for 50% of the crypto pie? They want it all. Now, if this was an honest world, the Ethereum ETF shouldn't be given or shouldn't be permitted in May, because it's more of a security than Bitcoin is. It's not proof of work. It had a kind of ICO. It has a head in Vitalik and the team. And I think it's harder to prove it as being a commodity or outside of the scope of the SEC. So I think there's going to be a harder time getting this. However, my caveat is if BlackRock wants it, they are going to get it. And Gary Gensler could use the defense of the court and say, well, we'll keep losing in court. We're going to lose again. We're just going to give them the Ethereum ETF. That could be what's going to happen. But this is the next big battle for crypto, is the Ethereum ETF. And I think the longer this goes on, the more chance we have of seeing a $3,500, $4,000 Ethereum sooner rather than later. And if we are accepted, remember Ethereum is now a deflationary token. This is one thing people are forgetting about Ethereum. Ethereum, the faster and more usage that there is on the layer 2s, and of course Ethereum itself, the more fees are burnt, and those fees are Ethereum. The more Ethereum gets burnt. There is a chart, I will bring it up again, that shows you the deflationary nature. I think there are 200,000 less Ethereum than there were at the start. So once we hit the bull run, it's going to become super deflationary. I don't know what effect the Denkum the Denken release is going to have. I know it's going to reduce the fees to the layer 2s, but I don't know what effect that's going to have on the supply. But either way, it's the biggest deflationary asset currently in the world. So I do expect it to have an incredible bull run. I think I said yesterday we are looking at potentially anywhere between a $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 target for Ethereum. Conservatively, that's a 5-6x from where we are now. I'm expecting the market to go up maybe 4x from here. I think Ethereum's going to get a bigger slice of the pie because of this ETF. They're going to get it. Whether it's May or whether it's March next year, it's going to happen. And if there is an expiry date on the ETF applications, then fine. But I just don't think it's as easy as people are thinking. Now, this is another article talking about the rise of Bitcoin. And it's not an ABL rate, that's a fact. If Bitcoin can match Meta, it will also become a member of the $1 trillion club again. Good morning, Solo Sky. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well on this beautiful green day. So we're at 981 billion. What is the actual market cap right now of Bitcoin? We must be close. 983 billion. So we are, what are we, 1%, 2% away? So we're $1,000. Are we $1,000 away from Bitcoin being a $1 trillion market cap? So if we hit $51,000, I think that puts us at $1 trillion. That really isn't a big move now, is it? We've done 4.4% in 24 hours. If we could push up, remember my target is 52.5, then 55. So if we got to 52,000, we would be there. Nikos, greetings from Greece. Welcome to the show. I hope you're enjoying the green days as much as we are. So we are 2% away from hitting the $1 billion club in the top 10. Even though it hasn't broken the trillion, it's still in the top 10. We've already gone over the chart. We've reclaimed $50,000. The market's all-time high was 1.28 trillion, 67,000. There are people saying that we could potentially see $60,000 by the halving. Now, I'm not going to bet against them. That seems like a fair comment to make. There is also a rule of thumb, and again, I need to do my research on this because I haven't proven it to myself, that the all-time high of Bitcoin has always been, up until now, a 4x from the price it was on the halving. Maybe I'll make a video about that. So if we 4x from 60,000 on April the 20th, April the 16th, whatever day it is, that gives us a $240,000 Bitcoin. So that's the upper end of the predictions that I take seriously. Plan B is still predicting a $500,000 Bitcoin, $480,000 Bitcoin, I think it is. I just don't see us getting there. That's just outrageously high. But we will see. Supply shocks can do funny things in markets. So Bitcoin is going to take a run at Meta in the next probably 48 to 72 hours. Expect some kind of retracement though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're going to go and look at the charts and I'll tell you what I mean. Just before we had the ETF approval, I said on stream, nothing goes up forever. Similarly, nothing goes down forever. Things do go down forever, especially companies that have gone out of business. But what I mean is when you're talking about an asset like gold or silver or oil or Bitcoin, it doesn't go down or up forever. Now, there's a lot of lines on this chart. Admittedly, we can probably get rid of this one. This is the bull market support band, which is coming in at 39.7. 39.7 is the bull market support band. So worst case scenario, in my opinion, we could come down to 39,000. That's my worst case scenario. There is a position where just after the halving we can have a correction. We've already had a correction here. And some people are saying this was the pre-halving correction. There's still time for another one. We still have 65 days, so there is time for another correction. And if you look at what we did here, and we kind of look at that kind of movement, I can never drag things on this chart. Now, doesn't that look familiar? And the reason it looks familiar is whenever I do stuff like this, Bitcoin always plays out as I've drawn it. So what happened after that? We go into this kind of movement here. So let's just leave that. So what would that do? If we copied it again, well, look at that. We would come down to touch the fib level, we would come back up, and we'd come back to touch the fib level. Now, again, it's just a hypothesis. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying these things tend to have patterns. So I don't expect us to hold 50,000 between now and the halving, which is 60 days away. I think we are going to come down. We do have some decent levels. We've got a level here at 48,000, pretty much dead on. Then we've got the fib level underneath that, 46.8. And then we have our range that we've been in. I haven't deleted this yet because this is still too soon. I mean, that move up is epic. We've gone from 42.3 to 50,000 in, what's that, a week? I mean, that is some move. So I think we're going to have some retest. There is another retest down here at 44.8. Then potentially 41.4 or 41, call it. And then if we do have a major pullback, I'm expecting 39.7. But we have ETFs sucking Bitcoin out of the market on a daily basis. And this is what we haven't had them long enough for me to see what the impact is going to be. And that's the issue. If we didn't have the ETFs, I would expect a retrace like this, where we come all the way down, find our proper level of support, which is this range we've had. I mean, this was some range. So I would expect that, but we've got the ETFs, and I think it's going to throw a lot of people off. Some people have been calling for $30,000 Bitcoin. That would be a 66% retracement from where we are. Now, I don't see that. I just can't see $30,000. Mikey thinks 38 test is possible. That would be about there. So that would tie in with this area here. So Mikey could very well be right. My issue is you've got so many rungs of the ladder to hit on the way down. And then when you do hit the bull market support band, I just don't know if we're going to go below it. I mean, we could go to 38,000. Whatever happens, it's up and to the right over a long period of time. Short-term volatility is only really going to kick people in the nuts and make them very upset for a period of a week or two. But I don't, look at the RSI here. It's starting to really creep up. This is on the daily. On the weekly, hang on. Let's get rid of that. Let's have a look at the RSI on the weekly. I mean, we've kind of curved down and probably going to come back up. We could have another couple of days of good movement. It's cooling off quite nicely on the 4 hour. I think 38 to 40 is a good shout, definitely. I think if we come down, because you got to remember that's only a 20% retracement. And if you look at what this retracement was, now this is never going to work, by the way. I'm just going to tell you, every time, there we go, look at that. Right, so if we go along here, we retraced 20% there. So from the ETF approval to the bottom of this range was 20%. Thank you, TradingView. So if we did that again, from where we are now, and we come down 20%, that would take us, funnily enough, directly to that line there that I've highlighted, which is 39 and change. So if we retrace and we copy this movement here, so if we do that, this is really rudimentary, but to be honest, it's difficult to do. There we go. So that's where that's what we could possibly do in a retracement. And that would really scare everybody, especially people who've just bought the Bitcoin at 50,000, expecting it to go to 60 tomorrow. So I think the RSI needs to cool off. Now, what would happen in an ideal world? Let's be a bit more optimistic. In an ideal world, we'd like this kind of action, very similar to down here. Now, when that happens, alts will pump. If Bitcoin can hold 48 to 50,000 for a week or two, build up. Remember, we talk about steps. We talk about steps. And why do we talk about steps? Because when you fall down the steps and you retrace, you have these areas of support all the way down. We've seen so many alts that do this, and that's the end of it, because it's broken up too much. I'll give you one example. I'm spending a long time on this, but I'm going to give you an example to show you what I mean. That. So this is XRP, and this is the XRP case that they won against the SEC. And what happened? It had a God candle. So it's following the bull market support band, then it rockets up. And guess what? There's no support. Where's the support? There isn't any. These fib levels aren't support because they've all been smashed. So what happened? It came down, it bounced, it came down, it struggled for a bit, had a bit of a hangover, broke back up, and now we're here. So if Bitcoin shot up from 50 to 60,000 in a day or two, and then there was a retracement, there's no support on Bitcoin between 48 and 60,000. So where do you think the price of Bitcoin is going to go? It's going to come back to 48,000. It needs to find the steps. So I am with Mikey on that. I think 38 to 40 is a conservative place. And we say that because if you're looking to buy into Bitcoin, it's not a bad idea to put in some buy orders at 39,000, 40,000, 41,000. Because if we wick down, and those wicks can be 10-minute wicks, 15-minute wicks, if we wick down, you've just picked up a $40,000 Bitcoin. So when we're at $60,000, hopefully in 2 months' time, you've made 50% profit in 2 months. So that's why it's good to look out for where these retracements could possibly be. So hope that helps. And thank you for your comment, Mikey. Indeed. I thought Jason was going out. Good morning to you, sir. And Nikos, good morning. Okay. So, the Solana phones, a few months ago we talked about this, and we said, quite rightly, that they weren't selling their mobile phones. Nobody was buying them. And then suddenly, Bonk did an airdrop. And when Bonk did an airdrop, all of a sudden, don't tell me you got scammed. When Bonk did the airdrop was worth more than the phone. So the phone was about $450, and there was about $600, $700 of Bonk dropped to the phone. Now, I am not a conspiracy theorist under any circumstances. I do not wear a tinfoil hat most of the time. But it's a bit of a coincidence that they couldn't sell the mobile phone, and then suddenly they were selling their mobile phones because it became airdrop season, and suddenly Solana, you were buying these Solana phones for $450 and you were getting $900 worth of airdrops. So you were basically getting a free phone and $450. So now you're wondering why they've already sold 100,000 of version 2. Well, it's pretty obvious. So Chapter 2 has hit 100,000 pre-orders. Priced at $450, the new device aims to broaden access to the tech. Previous Solana Sega phone gained cult status with a Bonk token airdrop challenging top tech brands. Open account. We don't need to read about that. So remember Anatoly's history. Anatoly worked in the mobile phone industry. There was always going to be a mobile phone style for Solana. Maybe not exactly a mobile phone. I didn't know whether he was going to go down the mobile phone route, but it's a good thing, because what he's done is he is pushing forward with adoption. Because, put it this way, you've got Apple and you've got Android phones, and Apple and Microsoft as well are going to be looking at this and going, right, okay, so the future of mobile phones, we've done gaming, we've done social media, what's next? Crypto, finance, 24/7 trading, whatever you want it to be. How do we get into that? So by Anatoly making this mobile phone, yes, he's probably not making a lot of money out of it, but he's forcing the hand of all the other mobile phone makers. We've already seen it. Apple are building in a mobile phone, a wallet to their mobile phone. Microsoft's next operating system, as far as I'm aware, has a wallet built in, which means that if you get one of these Microsoft phones, which I think they still exist, that will also come with a crypto wallet. So he's forced the hand. So it's benefited a lot from that. So these mobile phones are great. I haven't bought one yet, because I'm sitting here thinking, if I spend 4.5 Sol on this mobile phone and Sol goes to $500, then I've spent $2,250 on a mobile phone. That's how I view this. You have opportunity cost. Yes, you can take it in fiat, and I know all of that. But would I rather buy a phone in 2 years' time for 1 Sol than buy it now for 4.5 Sol? That's what you've got to work out in your head. And I know Ben Cowan talks about this all the time. When he's walking around the hardware store, he walks around counting it in ADA and ETH and Bitcoin, and I like that. Is Solana unstable right now? Do you know, I haven't looked at it right now. I've literally, I'm really tired. I had a long day yesterday. Then I was helping Brogan on his stream last night. So I've not had a lot of time. I've not really been on Solana today, to be honest. I've not checked Camino. I've not done anything. So I'll go and have a look after the show. Now, this is what I was saying before. I had a price here of 102. Sorry, it wasn't 112. It was 102. So I had 102, 103-ish dollars for Solana. And if you look, if I zoom in just a tad, and this is what we like to see. We like to see Solana hanging around fib levels. Ethereum does it beautifully. So Solana is sitting here just at this fib level, which is about 113.13. We're 114.21, so we're just above it. So where are we going to go with Solana? Well, first of all, this move up was absolutely epic. This move up from here. Let's go back a bit more. We were at $18 in September. $18. We have 6x'd. Now, it looks, when you see this, you think, wow, look at it, it's not going to go any further. Yeah, but then you need to do this. And then you need to realize that everything down here, all of this was to do with that. That entire crash of Solana was solely to do with FTX. Some people will disagree with me, that's fine. Why was it to do with FTX? Anatoly and Sam Bankman-Fried were like brothers in arms. They were on every AMA together. They were talking about the future of Solana and FTX. FTX had a massive, massive bag, millions and millions of Solana. So when FTX crashed, people thought, right, what's the first thing that's going to happen? They're going to liquidate all of their assets to pay back their clients. So the price of Solana went from, let's take this peak, $135. It went all the way down to $8. And Brogan was buying at $10 and $12. So he's made a fortune out of this. So we haven't gone we haven't extended Solana past where it should be at this stage in the bull run. What we've done is we've caught up. We've caught up with this area here, and that's the area we're at. So yes, we can retrace to $90, $85 in a pullback. That's fine. But where could we look at next? We should be looking up at these levels here. There it is. So we should probably be looking up at this level here, which is the $144 range. That's where we should be looking at. That's only really an extra 20%, 25% from where we are now. And I'm not saying we're going to go up there now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we're going to go to $144 tomorrow. We're going to have to play around. I need to redraw this chart, actually. I'll redo this after the show, extend it a little bit, make it a little bit more up to date. So we're at this fib level. The fib level up here is all the way up. What I'm worried about is I'm worried about people front running the bull run, and I'm worried that we're going to get ahead of ourselves. I don't want to see a $70,000 Bitcoin in the next month or two. I don't want to see a $400 Solana in the next 2 or 3, 4, 5 weeks. It's too far ahead of itself. The bull run traditionally starts about the time of the halving, which is April, and then it runs for 18 months. So it will run to November next year. If we overextend ourselves and we use all of our gunpowder now, you've got to think, how do we sustain the volume and the market cap of Solana? How do we get to $1,000 Solana? How do we get there? It's a 10x from here, but it's also a 10x in the market cap. So I'm very worried that we get overextended on some of these coins. So I think what we could do with doing is something like this, come back down, maybe after the halving in May, and then we have a run up. That's what I'd like to see. I don't want this kind of constant. Remember the bull market support band, it has to be tested. We can't just go up forever in one line. We need retracements. We don't have that at this moment in time. We don't have that much money coming into the market to sustain some of these market caps. So $130, $140 Solana, then a retracement to 113, 110, 100. That would be great. But again, we can't. I mean, we can't start doing things like this and saying, you know what we need to do by April is we need to be here. Okay, well, we're there. Well, that's $250. Where do we go from there? We can't keep going up. So at some point, it has to do this. And the question is of timing. When do we come back? Do we do this and come down here? Do we do this, come down here? Whatever way we look at it, it has to retrace. And as I was saying before about the steps, and I showed you the XRP chart, if we rock it up, we rock it down. What I would much prefer for the next year, I'd love to see Solana do this for the next year. That would be amazing, because each one of these would be, I've broken my chart, each one of those would be a step backwards. So that's what I want to see. It's probably a good job I broke the chart, because then I don't have to worry about fixing it, and we're running out of time. So let's go and talk about ADA. Full disclosure, by the way, I do hold Bitcoin, I do hold Cardano, I do hold Solana, I do hold Ethereum, I do hold XRP. I hold all of these top 10, top 20 coins. Of course, I am not paid to tell you which coins to buy. This is an unbiased opinion. And there are people out there shock as investors retain 7 billion ADA for over 5 years. So the Cardano fan staking pool asserted that Cardano could see huge supply shock amid a disclosure that investors have held 7 billion ADA for over 5 years. This is the same thing as well with with Ethereum. Ethereum has got a huge volume of, or not a huge volume, a huge percentage of Ethereum is staked. I can at some point maybe go and show you those figures on DeFi Llama, but I haven't got time today. The point of this is, if you have 35 billion supply, maximum is 45 billion. And what we're saying is that a fifth of it is locked up and isn't moving. Now, we're going to have to move an awful lot of Cardano to stake to cause a supply shock. This is a little bit this is one of those headline grabbers that isn't really much. It's 20% of the supply is staked. I believe something like 30% of Ethereum is staked. So Cardano isn't that close. So for the uninitiated, a supply shock is a sudden reduction in the available supply of a crypto asset. That's the halving. We've talked about that. Now, all well and good, but 7 billion. 7 billion isn't a great deal to be staked. So it's currently worth 3.8 billion, but the market cap is 20 billion. So, yeah. Data from Into the Block confirms that 12% of holders currently in possession of 3.66 billion ADA have not sold their tokens for 3 to 5 years. It could experience a supply shock. Now, why is it going to experience a supply shock? Because none of the data shows it's going to be a supply shock. He emphasised that these assets do not represent institutional holdings as yet. They might have a hard time procuring these assets due to the hodl culture. The Cardano enthusiast stressed that this is a bullish reality for their asset. ADA has a circulating supply of 35.4. Most of these tokens, they're not though. They're not religiously held. We've just shown you it's only 20% of the supply. If it was 40 or 50% of the supply, I'd agree with this. Such an event would likely bolster ADA's bullish momentum as the asset battles to reclaim 55 cents. I mean, again, nonsense. Don't worry about these prices right now. ADA, conservatively, is going to move $3 to $5, in my opinion. And yes, that's only a 6 to 10x. I know that. But I'm not going to sit here and give you outlandish predictions when I've told you that the market cap of the entire crypto market is only going to about 5x from where we are now. So I think a conservative price, previous all-time high $3, next all-time high potentially, in my opinion, $5 would be a good price. If I sold all of my Cardano at $5, I would have a handsome six-figure sum. I don't know what else I need from Cardano. You know, that's a Lambo. Not that I'm going to buy a Lambo. Now, very quickly, because we've run out of time, IMX. I've covered IMX on the channel before. Also picked 5 assets to buy in February. I am going to go and have a look at them. It is a bit of a cheat when you hear somebody say 5 assets in February, then the entire market pumps, and then the person says, look at me, aren't I a genius? But IMX is going to be a great coin in this bull run, simply because it has adoption. We talk about the 2 things we need. We need adoption and regulation. Regulation for the exchanges, regulation for the assets, and we need adoption by gamers, adoption by traditional finance, adoption by businesses. That's what we want. The 2 things, the yin and the yang, they don't work without each other. Now, IMX, I said before, was trying to pick up at under $2. It did go under $2 during a pullback. There was a power cut. It came back on. It was $2.10. I decided I wasn't going to buy. I stuck to my guns. Didn't buy it at $2.10. I don't regret that, because you can't regret, you know. I could have sold my entire net worth and bought Bitcoin at $1,000, and I'd be a lot richer than I am now. But that would have been foolhardy, and that's not how you carry out risk management. So if I miss a token, I miss a token. It doesn't matter to me. But I did pick IMX for this month. If you had picked it up, it would have been the top gainers of February so far. And as you can see, the price, I would have picked it about here. So as you can see, the price has gone up 50% so far. It is, however, at a $4 billion market cap. Now, what I would say I've just been asked the question in chat as well. What I would say is, where is it going to go from here? It's at 4 billion. Now, I'm going to very quickly have a look at TradingView and see if I've got the chart back. If it hasn't, I'll put you on pause and fix the charts. There we go. Okay. So, my issue is that we're at 4 billion. Where are we going to go? Are we going to go to $6 a token, which would put it at an $8 billion market cap? Again, we don't want to get too excited. I am Mr. Excitable, but I don't want to get too excitable with a token that's already here. It's already here. Where can it go? Are you telling me it can get to $10, which is a 3x? So that would put it at a $12 billion market cap, which would put it here. Are you telling me it's going to go there? No, it's not. It has to move with the market. One of the things I was saying the other day, I was on a call and I said, even flotsam and jetsam floats with the tide. And what I mean is that the market moves up and coins go up. So do I think it could get to a $12 billion market cap? Yes. Do I think it can get to a $12 billion market cap today or tomorrow? No. When the market 4x's or 5x's or 6x's, there will be coins that do a 10x. There will be coins that do a 2x, but the average will be 4, 5x. And the question is Immutable X going to outperform Ethereum Classic? Absolutely. Is it going to outperform Leo? Absolutely. However, is it going to outperform Optimism or Uniswap? Probably not. It might do slightly better. So should you buy IMX today? That's the question I have been asked. All right, let me go back up and look at the chart, which is there. Okay. We're moving away from the bull market support band. And I don't like it when coins do this. Okay. When the coins do this, there's only one way for it to come, and that's down. Now, that doesn't mean the coin is bad. The coin is not bad, but look at where you could have picked it up. Look at the prices down here. You know, the red zone, as we call it, is where you should be buying your tokens. This is going to come back because there is nothing to support it. Like we were saying before about steps. And let me drag this over here. So what would I like to see? Let me tell you what I want to do with IMX. I do want a bag of IMX. I do. Because maybe I'll do a video about it, or maybe on Saturday we will do a proper review of IMX in the studio. Okay. What I would like to see is I would like to see it come down to this fib level, which is $2.40, $2.39. If it does that, then I'm more than likely going to buy myself, I don't know, 100 IMX tokens. I am not going to do this. I'm not going to buy here. I can't. I mean, it's previous all-time high, not previous all-time high, it's got a price point here, which was way back when, nearly 2 years ago. It's been down here all the time. This looks like FOMO to me. I know they've got partnerships. I know it's adopted. We're at $4 billion. We need to come back. We need to come back to go up. So if you want to get to $8 billion, we're not going to go straight up. We're not going to do that. So I think I would like to see maybe this level. Ideally, what would be beautiful would be this level here. And this is the level that I missed out at. Twice, in fact. I missed out there and there. Drawing a pair of eyes there. So I do expect a retracement. It can't keep going up. There's only so much liquidity in the market. There's only so much money that can be used to buy these tokens. And if people are buying IMX, they're not buying Cardano, they're not buying XRP. If XRP pumps, or Bitcoin pumps, or whatever happens, it can help IMX go a bit higher. But I mean, let's go down to a lower range. Hang on. Okay, right. So my buy zone is going to be there. And I'm going to put orders in about there. So these two levels here, 238 and 212. This 212 is and does look like an arbitrary a price, but it's not. It ties in with this here. These are the steps. Remember, it's got lovely steps here, but wait for it to come back, I think. And if you miss, this is another thing I say, if you miss out on one token, I missed buying it at $2. I missed it a couple of times. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you miss out. It's not important. There's other tokens to get. Do not marry your portfolio. You are not married to your portfolio. You're married to your husband or your wife. You're not married to your portfolio. So if there is a token that you like, and you know, if you're a gamer and you play the games on IMX, fine, go and buy it. But don't have a special attachment to a particular project. It doesn't really end well. Right, last thing, and I'm going to keep this very quick because it's already nearly 12 o'clock. I feel like I've been talking for 5 minutes. Right, let me very quickly drop a box and then we will carry on. I have abandoned chat. I am really sorry. I'm just going to drop a very quick box and then I will carry on. Okay. Now, remember, something I haven't said all stream, I've been too engrossed in the chat, is make sure, smash the like button or the love button or whatever you've got in front of you, and also make sure you follow us. In the bottom left-hand corner, you will see a fans ticker. It's not live. I update it every day or every other day. It says 94,325. So we are only 5,600 and something away from 100,000 followers. That's not just where you're watching us now. That's across a couple of different places. Haven't included everything, but it's the big ones. So we've got 100,000 people, and once we get there, we can start to go around and ask people for sponsorships and things like that, which we can then start to give you giveaways, start to give out prizes and things like that. So make sure you follow and like, subscribe, whatever your buttons you've got in front of you. Okay, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I want to do a quiz. Basically, in the UK, if you wanted to do peer-to-peer trading, you had to do a quiz explaining that you knew what various things were. They're doing the same thing for crypto. I think it's a great idea. In America, they have a barrier whereby if you don't have $1 million, I think it is $1 million, you can't invest in certain products. And it basically just keeps people from getting rich. It keeps the poor people out and the rich people in. It's a terrible thing to do. In the UK, they don't have that. In the UK, you pass a quiz. And that quiz, I've done the quiz several times for different platforms I've been on. It's not easy. It's not, what's 2 + 2, what's 1 + 1. It's genuine questions about, if you invest in this product, are you guaranteed a return? Is your return insured? Those kind of things. And you have to choose all the right answers. Most of the time, I'd get 9 or 10 out of 11, but I do get caught on the odd one occasionally. So it's a good thing to test your knowledge and understand what you're investing in isn't necessarily risk-free. And I do like this. I'm not going to mention the exchanges on here because we're streaming on different exchanges, but I like this. The FCA have done a good job with this. It's positive frictions, they call it, are measures that counter social and emotive pressures to invest. It's a good thing. The reason it's a good thing is that our motto on this channel, as most of the OGs will know, is we are not here to make you rich. Our job is to try and stop you from becoming poor. That is our job. That is our role. We are not here to tell you which coins to buy. We are here to try and help navigate you through scams, through all the things that try and catch you out, pump and dumps. If there is a pump and dump, I will call it out. I will put it up on different platforms. Trella or Teller, I called out. Pepe, I called out. Bonk, I called out. I call out coins that I think are pump and dumps, and most of the time we catch it. We did one yesterday as well, where the price was just absolutely going stratospheric. It's going to come all the way back down again, and you're going to be the person holding that coin at $1 when it's at 10 cents, and that's what I want to avoid. And when I see FOMO in charts, I will tell you, like IMX is a great product, but I don't want to buy it at $3. In 12 months' time, when it's worth $8, you'll say, why didn't you buy it at $3? And that's a good point. But my argument is, where it is in the market right now, it should come down. Should. If Bitcoin rips today and tomorrow and the day after and the day after, yes, it's going to go to $6. But I don't care, because there'll be other coins coming up. You know, if you drive down the street and you see a takeaway open, it's not the only takeaway in the city. You'll find the next one, or the next one, or the next one. Don't regret things you haven't done, because you're just going to end up beating yourself up. And I think the FCA have done a great job with this, because having a test to determine your knowledge is the best way of keeping people safe. Now, don't get me wrong. You get your friend over to your house, or you call your friend up and you read the questions out to him, and he's going to tell you the answers. I get that. But it stops the majority of people from FOMOing in. If any of your friends, family, work colleagues, neighbors tell you to go and buy a coin, why would you listen to them unless they're expert traders? Why do you listen to Shaquille O'Neal or Taylor Swift or Madonna or David Beckham? Why do you listen to them talking about financial products, or talking about doorbells, or talking about jackets? What do they, are they experts? They're sporting people, they're celebrities, and they use them because they know they will convince you to do something. And it's a world of illusion. Shampoo, makeup, whatever it might be. So when legislation like this exists, we need it. Don't rail against it and say, I should be able to do what I want. You should. But we have a responsibility as a society to stop you from losing your money. If you were going to go and set fire to your money in the street, would you not want somebody to stop you? And that's why we need legislation. It's really important. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a move in the right direction. The UK doing it the right way. I think stopping people from investing because they don't have enough money is the most criminal thing in the world. Good example of this is, I could send you $10 today on the Solana blockchain, and you could go and invest that $10 and start making money today on that $10. If Americans had their way, you would need a minimum of $200,000 to be able to go and do that. But what gives them the right to tell you you can't earn money because you've only got $10? There's a difference. Stopping you from doing something because you don't know what you're doing is different to stopping you from doing what you want to do because you don't have enough money. They're two separate things. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's go back to the Bitcoin chart, and then we will do the quiz. We will ask some quiz questions. Now remember, let's load this now. This is never going to make you rich. This is a bit of fun. Been talking for an hour. It's fairly heavy if you're new to crypto. I get that. So these are very simple questions. It would be a lot easier if this just worked for me. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. Let's get the Bitcoin chart up. Close that down. There we go. Now, did we hold 50,000? I think we might have dropped beneath it. Have we? 49,876. But we're at that line. We're at that line. Let's go to the daily. There we go. Right, okay. Let me get cracking with the quiz. Ban a few more people in chat for spamming. And away we go. Okay, so it's a simple quiz. It's not meant to catch you out. It's just meant to be a bit of fun. Don't get your knickers in a twist if you think the questions are too simple. It's just general knowledge. And it's just, you might learn something, you might not. First question then, the Bitcoin halving. We've talked about it today on the stream. We told you how many days away it was. Is the Bitcoin halving in April or June? Is it in April or June? Just type April or June with a capital A or a capital J. You get 60 seconds to answer the question. Cannot say fairer than that. Oh, the poll today. Can we hold $50,000 now? And 100% of you said yes. There we go. I do think we will hold it. I know we're beneath it a little bit at the minute, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. The Bitcoin halving, April or June this year. When is it going to be? Put your answers in chat. We never get a lot of people getting the first question right. I think people are asleep on their desks. And then their phone dings telling them there's a question to answer. And it takes them 60 seconds to come around. Okay. Only 26 people got this right. Only 26 people. Absolutely appalled. I'm appalled at you. Absolutely. Fran, you're forgiven. Elron, you're forgiven. Manu, you're forgiven. Janice, you're forgiven. Elian, Eagle Wings, Spartan, you are all forgiven. 28 of you. April is the answer. Remember, it had to be a capital A. If you didn't put a capital A, then you didn't win. It's not my rules. It's case sensitive. I didn't design this system. It just exists. A little bit like baby pigeons. Next question. I haven't actually got a lot of time left, but we will give it a good go. Okay. Oh. And I have to type each question. Okay, so Gary Gensler. Does he work for the SEC or does he work for the FBI? Gary Gensler, does he work for the SEC or does he work for the FBI? If you put links into chat, I will ban you. I'm just putting that out there. So Kesri, you have been banned. Remember, it has to be in uppercase. Uppercase. I put the two options in the chat. So, is Gary Gensler with the SEC or the FBI? Oh, I am tired today. I am tired today. Look at that. 42 hardy souls. 46 of you got that one right. See? First question. Everyone's asleep on the desk. Cold coffee. Head in arms. Snoring away. See the question start to pop up. Fumble the phone. Drop it on the floor. And they're all ready for the second question. That's how it works. I know how you work. Sweet Sinner, congratulations. Regenda, congratulations. Mofat, Marquez, Satoshi, nice name. Mandri, GM, well done. All winners, congratulations. I'm going to ban you as well. Ban, 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 ban. I go around, I'm like hungry hippos. You put your head up with a false link in chat and I hit you on the head with my plastic mallet. And then you are gone. Congratulations to you all. You're going to be going as well. And remember, if I ban you because you're pasting things in chat, you won't get the questions right. Next question is going to be I got it. Remember, answer has to be typed as I have typed it in the question. Anatoly Yavalenko, I know I've spelt his name wrong, doesn't matter. Anatoly Yavalenko, is he part of the Solana ecosystem or is he part of the Tron ecosystem? Anatoly Yavalenko, Solana or Troll? Capital S, capital T. You decide. 60 seconds to go. And remember, I'm going to keep saying it. If you're new here, smash the like button. If you are not new here and you've been here for a while, smash the like button or follow button or whatever else you've got there. If you don't know who we are, check the links under the stream. You will find the links to everything we do. If you want to get hold of me, go to Gatepost. Why has the screen disappeared? Go to Gatepost, comment on there, and I will get back to you. 34 correct answers. Where's the screen gone? It's vanished. Ah, there we go. Very unusual. Okay, 35 of you got that right. Not so good. So Anatoly Yavalenko, he is part of the Solana ecosystem. We talked about him before. We talked about the 100,000 mobile phones. You weren't listening. Disgrace. Franjover, congratulations. Bebe, well done. Moni, Warmaster C, good morning. Eagle Wings, congratulations. Janice, Michael, Rain, I've not seen you in here for an age. Solo Sky is here, congratulations. You are all winners. RS000, will you steady your horses? There is nothing more annoying than typing quiz questions and somebody in chat going, next question, please. I am not a conveyor belt of questions, my friend. It takes me a long time to type these. As I'm talking to you, as I'm going through everything, I am physically typing the next question. It is not easy. These aren't written down anywhere or copied and pasted in because that doesn't work. I have to type each one of them manually. Okay, Ethereum. Ethereum is proof of work or proof of stake. Ethereum is proof of work or proof of stake. All you've got to do is type POW or POS into chat and you have won. Now, what we're going to do now is, after this question, I'm going to drop a follow box, and then I'm going to go and start to make some videos. I have some videos I need to make today, so I'm going to go make some videos. Make sure to check out all of our links in the description below. And like I said to you before, Gatepost is a good place to get hold of me. So if you click on my logo and you go to post, and you post a comment on there, I will reply to you. This is a good 55 people guessed correctly, or got it right. 56, sorry. Ethereum is, of course, proof of stake. It was proof of work. Now it is proof of stake. So congratulations to you all. Fran again. Spartan, there's too many names to read out. Tornado, congratulations. Adil, well done. Eagle Wings, Fardim, Michael again, Mickey, Saf, Be Simple, well done, everybody of you. Right, thank you everybody for coming to the show today. I am back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I'm back tomorrow at 11 o'clock, same time, same place. I'm in your calendar. Check your calendar. We have a huge event a week tomorrow. We have a huge event with a new project, and we would love you all to be there. Check the calendar. And if you want to get hold of me and find out more information about what the event is, check the links. I can't tell you too much because I stream in different places. So take care. You too. It is going to be, yes, it's going to be on here and it's going to be on there. And like I said, I've got to be careful what I say. But it's a huge event, and it's our first real big event. So there's going to be a way to enter the competition as well. So yeah, we're very excited to do that. So until tomorrow, I'm going to drop this box now, and we will see you all in the morning at 11 o'clock. Let's hope we hold the line at 50,000. Let's hold we don't break down to 49.2, 48.8. Let's see if we can hold the line. And until tomorrow, take care. Thanks for coming. Greatly appreciated. It is February the 13th. 13 is not a good number for me, but I am hoping it's a good number for you. Take care.